HOAs in Las Vegas, some buyers swear by them, some swear at them. The truth is, you probably won't avoid them here. So what we can do is avoid the bad ones. So let's break it down for you. If you're new here, my name is Giacomo. I create videos that tell you what it's really like to live in Las Vegas, covering local real estate trends, new developments, and neighborhoods that actually deliver value. I'm also a real estate agent, helping both locals and relocators find the best opportunities in this market. So if you're thinking about making a move or just want to stay in the know, just hit that subscribe button. Hey, and if you're looking for the right guidance or want help finding the right home or investment, reach out. I'd really love to help you. In Las Vegas, HOAs aren't just for condos. You'll find them in the newer single-family developments, especially in master plan communities like Summerlin, Sky Canyon, Inspirada, and Southern Highlands. Even townhomes off the strip often have at least one and sometimes two layers of HOA oversights. HOAs were created to protect home values and create consistency. Things like rules on landscaping, keeping up with common areas, and giving homeowners a say on the elected boards. When they're done right, it could feel like a well-run mini-town. But when it goes sideways, it could feel like a dictatorship with a clipboard. So let's talk money. You got the basic subs, which are just $20 to $50 a month, and they just cover landscaping. Then you have the mid-tier neighborhoods with pools and security that run between $75 and $150 a month. And then you have the luxury high-rises with concierge service, valet, rooftop pools, and fees that can top $600 a month. But not all high fees means high value, and not all low fees are a steal either. But let's be fair, HOAs could be a good thing. Of course, all these pros and cons apply to certain communities, not all of them. So it's really important that we actually go through the rules and regulations and the CCNRs just to make sure that we know what we are getting into. But in general, here's where they shine. First of all, it promotes neighborhood consistency, which helps in maintaining property values by enforcing the rules on landscaping, home appearance, noises, parking, etc., which it's great for resale value, especially in high demand area like Summerlin, Inspirada, Southern Highlands. Number two, amenities. Pools, parks, fitness centers, security patrols, often included in monthly fees. It makes the neighborhood feel like a resort community. So number three, exterior maintenance, especially in townhomes and condos, is often included roof, landscaping, and paint. Less stress for second home buyers or relocators. So in other words, it's always a perk when you have the maintenance on the outside covered by the HOA. That means that you don't have to engage in hefty repairs for roofing. Most of the times, the maintenance on your landscaping in the front yard is covered as well. And they would also paint your exterior whenever they feel that it's time to renew the community. So as a consequence for second-time buyers, meaning somebody that buys your property, there's less stress because they know that these things will be covered. And less stress from the seller side because they know that before putting it on the market, they don't have to worry about all these expenses on bringing their home up to keep for resale. Number four, security and peace of mind. Most of them have gated access, roving patrols, and neighborhood cameras common in higher tier HOAs. That gives a lot of peace of mind for retirees and families. And then, of course, we have community standards. It stops your neighbor from parking a boat on the front of the lawn or painting his house lime green. And, of course, predictable aesthetics equals buyer confidence. And now we have the cons. So number one, of course, is always monthly fees that add up. They can range from $40 over $400, and especially in high-rise buildings or luxury master plans, I've seen HOAs above $1,000. But the amenities that they get, maybe compensate, maybe not. Depends on your lifestyle. So what else? It eats into your cash flow for investors and affordability for first-time buyers as well. Number two, overregulation. That's always a big deal. Rules could feel intrusive. What color curtains should I use? Holiday decorations, pet restrictions, etc. Some boards take things a little bit too far. So where does it go too far? I've had clients complain that they got fined for faded shutters. One guy was on an HOA that sued homeowner over Christmas lights in January. But we all have our pet peeves, and we all try to abide by the rules and regulations. So it's important that we make ourselves familiar with what the rules are, because at the end of the day, a bad HOA or a good HOA enforces the rules so that everyone is treated the same, technically at least. And then we have special assessments, those that we don't see coming. Those are surprise costs that aren't part of your HOA fees. Example, $5,000 that gets split among homeowners for a pool renovation or a roof replacement. And the less favorite, number 4, is power struggles. Small boards with big egos. You get stuck with condo commandos or nosy neighbors on a power trip. Some decisions can be personal and not always professional. And finally, number 5, we have rental restrictions. Many HOAs ban short-term rentals and limit the amount of long-term rentals, especially in condos. Huge concern for investors and those hoping to maybe rent it out later. So, at the end, make sure that you know exactly what it is that you're looking for, and make sure that you go over the rules and regulation so that your long-term goals, as much as your short-term goals, are met as well. So to recap, since Las Vegas is dominated by HOAs, especially in newer development, so instead of asking, should I avoid them, the better question is, which HOAs offer real value and which ones are just a money pit? And then there's mortgages that get affected by the HOA fees as well. HOA fees affect your monthly affordability, especially when the rates are high. For example, a $150 HOA is the same as about $25,000 buying power. Plus, not every lender will approve condos in certain HOAs, especially if they have low reserves or ongoing lawsuits. That's where things get a little tricky. So if you are considering buying an HOA, don't skip your due diligence. Ask for the latest financials, a reserve study, the CCNRs, a history of a special assessment, pending lawsuits, and don't just glance at them. Have somebody who's done this before read through them with you. That's part of what I do for my clients. At the end of the day, we have your well-being in mind, and we want to make sure that you're happy in the home that you purchase. So what's my take on all this? HOAs aren't automatically evil, but bad ones could be a pain in your life that you really don't want. So what do you look for? You look for low stable fees, responsive management, and rules that actually make sense. So if you're considering an HOA community, let's talk about what's reasonable and what's a red flag. Because once you're in, you're in. If you have an HOA horror story or community that you actually would love to live in, drop it in the comments. I would love to hear about it. And if you're thinking about buying or selling in Las Vegas and want to avoid traps, shoot me a message. I'll be more than happy to help you out. I'll help you find a place where rules make sense, the amenities add value, and your HOA doesn't ruin your weekend.